Your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. Now, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Wow, 85 degrees already here at the start of the show at 10:06. Good to be with you. It is Tom Ackerman. It is Sports on a Sunday morning on KMOX. It is still baseball season. We just have 2 weeks remaining. 2 weeks from today, the season will be over. I heard on the Fox National telecast, the broadcaster saying, oh, the Cardinals are still in this. I was like, what? I mean, they're like, they'll be 3 out if they win this, as they have the lead here. I'm like, look, how many times have I said this, Drew? I don't even mention the wild card standings and haven't for months. The Cardinals are in a season of trying to figure out who they are. And, you know, the fans have been watching from afar. I never tell fans what to do. I'd love to see you all at the ballpark. It's a great place to be, but I, of course, have understood it, and I've stood with the fans on this all the way through. I got asked today, and by the way, they lost the game last night in case you didn't pay attention, but I know most of you did. They got lost in spectacular fashion. They fell 9, 8, and 10 innings. The bullpen blew it, but really they blew it a lot of different times. Drew, play it for us. Before I get into my Cardinals discussion, here's how it ended. The Cardinals, let me just set it up. They're up 6-1 in the ball game yesterday. They, they lose an opportunity to add on 6-1. Sonny Gray starts the 6th inning, walks the leadoff hitter. He didn't like that. He wishes he would have finished stronger. He left the game. They ended up scoring a run in the 6th inning to cut the lead to 6-2. Then the Cardinals in the 7th and 8th innings don't score, which is a problem. And in the bottom of the 8th, they give up 2 runs. Jojo Romero gives up 2, and the Cardinals have now a 6-4 ball game to deal with. Then we move to the 9th inning, and this is part of the issue. Now, the Cardinals bullpen and the Cardinals in general went into the game 67-3 when they lead going into the 9th inning. Now it's 67-4. And here's part of the reason why. Because in the top of the 9th, the Cardinals get a base hit from Burleson. Contreras is hit by a pitch. You got first and second, nobody out. Nootbaar flies out. Not ideal. Can't move the runners over. Then Thomas Saggese with a base hit. Nathan Church, who came in to pinch run for Burleson, comes in to score. Great. And it's 7-4. Cardinals have the lead. Now Contreras holds at third, and Saggese goes to second on the throw. Terrific. Now an opportunity for Nolan Gorman. He's been getting runway and opportunity all year long. What does he do? He strikes out swinging. And he strikes out on he foul tips the second pitch. He lets the first one go high, foul tips the second one a fastball, fouls off a cutter, lets a fourth one go high, and then he swings through a splitter. So they work him up in the zone, and then they drop a splitter on him. That would have been a called strike, but he swung through it and strikes out. And then Pages pops out. So inning over. That's the issue. The Cardinals cannot capitalize. So there you go. It's 7-4. And you all know what's going to happen. You can just feel it. You're playing the Milwaukee Brewers, and this is what they've been doing all season long and what the Cardinals hope to be at some point. The Cardinals in the 9th inning give up 3 runs. Riley O'Brien gives up all 3. Now, Kyle Leahy comes in and cleans up the mess, but in the bottom of the 9th, it's the same old people. You know, it's Sal Frelick, it's Jackson Churio, it's William Contreras. It's all the people that you remember that the Brewers just keep coming at you with all their names, and they end up tying the game at 7. The Cardinals score a run in the top of the 10th. Great. But you start with a runner at second base. And the Cardinals started with Victor Scott getting hit by a pitch. So you had first and second and nobody out. And then Brendan Donovan walks. That's right. The base is loaded and nobody out in the top of the 10th. And the Cardinals can't score more than a run. And they did it on a double play. Ivan Herrera grounded into a double play. Run scores. Nathan Church grounds out. Threat over. This ball game is over, folks. You go to the bottom of the 10th. You're only up 1 on the Brewers. See you later. Now, Kyle Leahy comes in. He had gotten them out of the 9th inning. Man, he has pitched a ton this year. The Cardinals don't have a lot of depth, it doesn't seem anymore. in terms of their pitching staff, and they have a ground out to Bowers, a double to Durbin that ties the game, and then this.
The next pitch to him is hit into center field, and Victor Scott can't get it. Gets it on a hop. The throw into the plate is not in time, and the Brewers walk it off. A hit by Monasterio, a 2-run bottom of the 10th inning, and Milwaukee comes back to steal this one. They're celebrating on the field a 9-8 victory here at American Family Field.
It's just, it's painful, isn't it? The Cardinals lose to the Brewers 9-8. My quick thoughts on the Cardinals, and again, back to the fans. Inevitably, I get text messages, messages on Twitter when I announce that John Mozeliak's coming on. Why do we have to hear from him anymore? The answer to that is he's the spokesman for the team. Chaim Bloom is not available yet. This is how we get our information from the president of baseball operations. I say the same thing every week, but that is the answer as to why. And, we have 2 weeks left in the season. And eventually, I think a lot of the fans, and this is another question that came from Kevin, who's a great contributor to and listener to the show, asked me somewhat privately on Twitter. He just directed it at me. Is there fan apathy? Are you seeing it at KMOX? My answer there is no. Our numbers are good. We're seeing a lot of growth with the Gas House Gang. A lot of people listen to this show. A lot of people are paying attention just from afar. I think, respectfully, I think people are just waiting for October 1st. They're just waiting to see that next era take shape at this point with the Cardinals. That brings to mind a column that Benjamin Hockman wrote for the Post-Dispatch today, which he basically says my pick for manager next year is Ollie Marmol. Now, we're not going to sit here and push Ollie Marmol. We have Ollie Marmol on the show on Tuesday. That decision will be made by Chaim Bloom, whether he's going to clean house, whether he's going to just clean part of it, whether he's going to keep Marmol. Does he have somebody else in mind? I don't know, but I can tell you this. Hockman, who I love, is going to get 1 million comments on that column. And that's because people are paying attention to the Cardinals. There will be mostly angry people that say you're puffing this up and trying to feed us Marmol. So fans are, they're upset and they are paying attention. So there is no apathy here. And that's the worst thing you could possibly have. So understand that. Cardinals fans are very passionate, very smart, very strong in what they know, and they have a great history. They just want it to be back to where it used to be, which is the Brewers. They used to hang the playoff bunting around Busch Stadium every year. And that's what people want to get back to, the way things used to be. It's easier said than done. But that's the answer to those questions. Quickly, before we get to Brian Barnhart, the voice of the Illini, they're good. They beat Western Michigan 38-0. They're ranked 9th in the country. I'll be very curious where they are when the new top 25 comes out, because Notre Dame, number 8, lost to Texas A&M 41-40. There were a little bit of shuffling there in the top 25. Some good games yesterday, including Missouri. They handled Louisiana as they should have, but I'll tell you what, that offensive line and the running back is the real deal.
Pitch. Trying to punch it in on the ground. Untouched into the end zone. Ahmad Hardy. Touchdown, Mizzou.
ESPN with that call, and the SEC, and it's a 52-10 win. Ahmad Hardy, 22 carries, 250 yards, and 3 touchdowns. The SEC is not the best conference in football right now. That would understandably be the Big Ten. They have numbers 1, 2, and 4 in the top 25. Ohio State 1, Penn State 2, Oregon 4. But this team's really good. LSU, they beat Florida 20-10, and they did it with a dominating defense and not a great offense. This is what Brian Kelly dealt with in his press conference postgame.
Brian in the back, I know you love these immediate postgame sessions, but what are you seeing with your offense?
Stop. Really? Is that the first question? We won the game 20-10. Try another question. What do you want me to tell you? I just laid it out for you. We played the game to win the game. We played the game to win the game.
All right. How about third down then? What is going on with third down?
It's one game. Last game, we were great on third down. You're looking at this from the wrong perspective. LSU won the football game, won the game. I don't know what you want from me. What do you want? You want us to win 70-0 against Florida to keep you happy?
No, I think people want to know why you can't run the ball, quite honestly.
We can run the ball. Did you see the last play of the game? That's all you need. You just need one. There's a ridiculous questions. And I'm getting tired of it. That football team just worked their tail off to get an SEC win, and you want to know what's wrong. You know what? You're spoiled. You're spoiled. This team is 17-1 at night. 17-1. Give them some respect. How about that? Give them some respect instead of micro-analyzing every little thing. This is ridiculous. For a group of seasoned reporters, that kind of question is so out of line.
Brian Kelly just taking reporters to task, and I appreciate the passion, but understand that, if you want to ask the coach about his offense, it's a fair question, isn't it? Maybe not well-timed. I think typically you should work your way to that. Like, Brian, what are you proud of tonight's win over Florida? Defense really got after it. Fun crowd, huh? SEC. Tough environment. You're proud of your team for battling through, blah, 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 getting a win at home, blah, blah, blah. Then you'd get into the offense and you nitpick a little bit. But boy, Brian was ready to go. He absolutely annihilated that reporter. This is going to be fun to watch him deal with the pressures of the SEC once again. The SEC, this is when it gets serious now. Big Ten schedules here, the SEC schedules here. Brian Barnhart is going to be with us, the voice of the Illini, coming up next. 10:30, Jed Stugart, Lindenwood got a win. We'll talk about his football program as well. 10:45, Blues GM Doug Armstrong. 11:05, our NFL picks. 11:15, the BackStoppers and what they're doing here in the St. Louis area, plus a personal story I have to tell you about aiding some tornado victims yesterday. 11:30, John Mozeliak, 11:45, Bernie Miklasz. Sports on a Sunday morning from the Stifel Sports Studio. We'll be right back.
DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State. New Missouri customers can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today. And when we go live, place just a $5 bet to unlock $300 in bonus bets. Starting November 17th, you can create your DraftKings Sportsbook account in Missouri and get ready for launch day on December 1st. DraftKings Sportsbook brings you everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning-fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live December 1st. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
All right, you pick them. You don't have to take my word for it. Lots of 5-star reviews out there for my friends at Rhino Shield, because like me, there are a lot of satisfied Rhino Shield customers. And what does that mean? Well, maybe you're satisfied because it's exactly the color and beautiful, vivid color that you wanted, right? With the trim and all of that they could do in different colors, just like you would with regular paint, but it lasts for so long. Maybe you're happy because you're not out there scraping or having to pay somebody to scrape and paint every 4 or 5 years. That's what happens with regular paint. Not Rhino Shield. Goes on thick, waterproofs your house completely, protects it from the rays of the sun, gives you an insulation factor. It's fantastic. They've used it on HGTV, on unpainted brick, block, aluminum, steel, hardy cement board. It's fantastic on all of it. Call them today for a free evaluation, 877-25-RHINO. or 877-25rhino.com.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-201-7676, 800-201-7676, 800-201-7676.
University of Maryland Global Campus offers more than 55 flexible online certificates that provide short-term credentials and real-world skills you can use immediately. With a range of affordable undergraduate and graduate certificates in high-demand fields like business, AI, cybersecurity, data analytics, and healthcare, you can earn credentials quickly to help advance your career. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. You can too. YourIDoc.com.
You are a successful electrical contractor, but you plus a dedicated team supporting your project from day one? That's taking your productivity to the next level. And Graybar can help you get there. Your relationships plus our relationships. Your capabilities plus our job site services. Your challenges plus our technical specialists. You alone can get the job done, but you plus Graybar, that's smart business. Yep, Graybar does that.
Now, back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
College football is alive and well in the St. Louis area. You've got a couple of teams at the highest of levels, the Big Ten and the SEC, doing some damage. Missouri with its win, 52-10 over Louisiana, and Illinois wins 38-0 over Western Michigan. Joining us to talk about it, one of our favorite guys, the voice of the Illini, Brian Barnhart, is back on KMOX. What's up, Brian?
Hey, Tom, how are you this morning?
Doing great. Great to be with you. Thanks for your patience. I was going on a bit of a Cardinals rant, as you can understand. So,
well, that's okay. It's been that kind of summer, I think,
yeah.
for the Cardinals.
Thanks for steering me back to college football because I love it so much. And, let me get right to it, that I love those Indiana Hoosiers. That's my alma mater. I think that is the marquee game of Saturday, to be honest with you. I think that is the game. Maybe Auburn, Oklahoma is a good one, but this is the game. This is the game where we're going to find out a lot of things about Indiana and Illinois.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And it's one of those things where if you go back a few years, Illinois, Indiana basketball, yeah. Illinois, Indiana football, I don't know. But now it is. And, of course, we all know what the Hoosiers did last year, the great run they had with Curt Cignetti and Illinois. I'm sure fans for Illinois, I know they were looking over there in Bloomington like, Indiana, really? They're that good? And they seem to be really good again. And Illinois has been steadily building under Brett Bielema. Had a great run last year to the Citrus Bowl and beat South Carolina. And so let me tell you, Tom, it was buzzing yesterday in Champaign-Urbana. The tailgate lots were buzzing from 7 a.m. all day, and the place was packed. We've got a couple of more sellouts coming up already, and it's going to be hard to get a ticket here if this keeps going.
I agree with you. It's a really solid football team. Let's start on offense and at the quarterback position. You have to have one, and Luke Altmaier has been terrific for the Illini, Brian.
Well, no interceptions. He had a couple more touchdown passes last night, so we think he's up to 8 touchdowns this year. A different variety of receivers. He threw one late to Ashton Hollins, who had not caught one all year late in the game, and just spreading it around. The running game was a little slow the last 2 weeks. They got off to a slow start against Duke, and then it picked up, and Caden Fagan wound up hitting 100 yards late as they kind of ground down the Broncos last night. But Altmaier is so steady. You go back to last year, Tommy had 22 touchdowns and 6 picks. So he's up to, 8 touchdowns now, still with no interceptions. And I go back to the middle of last year, I can count on one hand the throws he's made where you go, ooh, he shouldn't have made that one. Everything is just like clockwork with him. And Barry Lunney, the offensive coordinator, they're very much in sync.
They get another win, and now they take on Indiana. On the other side of things, Curt Cignetti's team probably out to prove themselves again. I mean, everybody criticizes the soft schedule that they've had. They just obliterated Indiana State. Before that, they handled Kennesaw State. They beat Old Dominion, who actually drilled west of Virginia Tech yesterday on the road. So maybe ODU isn't all that bad, but it sets up quite a scene, I think. You've got an Indiana team trying to prove itself once again to the naysayers, and Illinois trying to push itself to the big boys table and make a college football playoff. Makes for a fascinating matchup.
No, it does. And when you looked at the AP, top 25 last week, just the names around for Illinois fans, it's unusual to look. You got Georgia up there and Notre Dame and, all the big names in college football. And it makes you proud to be able to support a team that's in that kind of rare air for Illinois football the last 25, 30 years. But, of course, it had been since 2001 since they were ranked in the top 10, that Sugar Bowl team under Ron Turner and Kurt Kittner and crew. So, in Indiana, I'm sure, last year literally came out of nowhere. As you know, I don't think anybody nationally knew what to expect and had the terrific run. And Illinois, I think there's probably nationally some people going, really, Illinois, are they that good? But when you see them play, and I know you have, both teams are just impressive. And that's what makes coming up next weekend so exciting.
What about defensively for Illinois? What makes them go, Brian?
Well, Gabe Ackerman starts it. Outside linebacker, lines up front. He is such a force. He's a wrecking ball in there. They added a couple of guys from Wisconsin, of course, where Brett Bielema used to coach years ago. But, James Thompson and Kurt Neal. Leon Lowry's another outside linebacker. But up the middle, they've been really, really stout with those guys. The secondary is solid and deep. They did, I don't know, we'll see how Xavier Scott is doing. He got banged up a little bit late in the game last night, making a great defensive play. But Xavier Scott, Miles Scott, a young man named Tanner Heckel, who played 8-man football in Kansas, has really emerged as a really outstanding player in the secondary. And then Mozeliak was banged up last night at linebacker, but, Malachi Hood stepped in. They're just deep across. The thing I noticed, Tom, in practice when I would go watch was what was different from years before is you'd look and you go, there's a senior, he's a senior, he's a senior, he's a senior. And then you go, he's a backup? Wow. And that wasn't always the case. You always, some years you'd see them out there and you think, okay, if this guy gets hurt or these two guys get hurt, we might be in trouble. This year, Brett Bielema and Aaron Henry, the defensive coordinator, are able to rotate a lot of guys through. They stay pretty fresh, and they're tough to score on.
I saw that they renamed Memorial Stadium Geese Memorial Stadium, and that is because of a terrific donor who gave $100 million to the athletic department, the largest gift ever. He also has a military family background, correct? His father was an Army veteran.
That's right. I think served in Vietnam, and Larry is just a tremendous guy. And boy, we hear, and I know you do covering baseball and all, you hear a lot of big numbers with contracts and different things. $100 million is a big number. He went to an Illinois game with his dad when he was young, and it kind of made a huge impression on him. He wound up going to the U of I and very successful in business. And in fact, the Geese College of Business, he made a donation or a gift there for $150 million about 4 years ago. And of course, it is now the Geese College of Business. But just kind of the perfect, as Josh Whitman said, it was transformational gift. All the arrows kind of pointed to him and the right merging. They built that relationship over several years, and he's just an amazing guy, very successful, and they had to balance it a little bit because Memorial Stadium, as you know, Tom, there's several stadiums around the country that are named Memorial for the folks who gave their lives in war, and so the connection with the military, with his dad. Memorial Stadium, the name Memorial was not going to go anywhere, but adding his name to it, I think, is just a really classy way to do it. And it was pretty impressive to see Geese Memorial Stadium really full last night.
Yeah, you'll be playing in another Memorial Stadium this Saturday night on NBC and on the Illini Sports Network, where Brian Barnhart calls the games. Love hearing you and love having you on KMOX. Before we go, just for our Illini fans who are hanging on, give me a basketball nugget, if you would. What is the thing about this particular team with Brad Underwood that you think could be successful?
Well, they're going to have, I think, two outstanding point guards, not just one, but two. And, they've got the Twin Towers. Ivicic, the twin brothers are now together. Of course, Big Z, as they call him, he had been at Kentucky, I think, and then went out with Calipari to Arkansas. We actually played him last year. They played against each other, but they're both over 7 feet. So your center position is solid. You got two really good point guards. Kylan Boswell's back again. And just the guys they're bringing in, not only the freshmen they're bringing in, but the young men from overseas in the Balkans, particularly Croatia and Montenegro, and how Brad Underwood puts those all together will be fun to watch. But they should be really, really good again. But as you know, you don't really know completely until you get them out there and play a few games. But optimism is really high, and you combine that with the success of the women's basketball program, and things are humming pretty well here in Champaign.
I hear it. That sounds good to me. I'm looking forward to the matchup this weekend and all of our visits throughout basketball season. I know we're going to have you on. Brian, thanks so much. Always great to hear you on KMOX.
Hey, Tom, always great to be on KMOX. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You got it. Voice of the Illini, Brian Barnhart. Thank you for joining us on Sports on a Sunday Morning. We'll come back. The only Division I football program in the St. Louis area. Do you know what it is? They play in St. Charles. It's Lindenwood University, and I'm here to tell you they're pretty good. Back in a moment with their head coach, Jed Stugard, right after this.
For residential and commercial heating repairs, service, maintenance, or installation, contact Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation. With over 50 years of HVAC service, get in your comfort zone this winter. Visit aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
Wow, we've had a hot summer so far. Probably still got a little bit more heat coming in through the rest of August and September. Most likely, let you know, I am still here. If you guys looked up the wife looking through you at a fork, I am still here. She still loves the hell out of me because my air conditioner did not break this summer, and I did not need to call me to have it looked at or have it fixed. But if you do need your air conditioner fixed, we can get to you pretty quick. If you want a new one, somebody tells you need a new one, we can get to you really quick. Just call me, Bart Inman, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600 or bartinman.com. I almost forgot. bartinman.com. That's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Do you like the word thorough? It's a good word, thorough. It means complete, accurate, detailed. Well, when you go to Ophthalmology Associates, you will get a thorough eye examination. The technology's incredible. It's all up to date, the very latest. And Doctors Birdie, Malhotra, Brusati, and Royer and their staff will make your visit very personal. That's because they believe every patient is unique. Ophthalmology Associates takes all the research and technology and their personal knowledge and expertise and tailor it into an eye care plan that is as unique as you are. Services include everything from expert treatment of cataracts and retinas to comprehensive eye exams for you and the kids, and a full-service optical shop with a ton of frames to choose from. Ophthalmology Associates, 3 St. Louis area locations. Visit youridoc.com or call 314-966-5000.
When we started Neovitin back in 2009, we wanted to create a multivitamin that we would take ourselves. That's why we use quality ingredients in our Neovitin Original Formula multivitamin. With over 20 vitamins and minerals, along with our physician-formulated proprietary blend, you can be sure you are getting the highest quality daily nutritional support. Give Neovitin Original Formula multivitamin a try for yourself. Find it at your local Schnucks, Deerbergs, and online at neovitin.com.
Your garage door is always there for you, rain or shine. Are you taking your garage door for granted? Is it screeching and whining for attention? Trust Overhead Door Company of St. Louis to keep your garage door reliable. Maybe the old weather stripping needs replaced to keep out the cold and hot air. Call Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, trusted here since 1926. For same-day service, call 314-781-5200 and schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
If you're trying to sell a home, there's only one agent in town that I trust, Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. My friends Mark and Neil have the best system to connect you to the best qualified buyers, getting your home sold fast and for top dollar. 314-336-1991. Go to thegelmanteam.com.
Now, back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Well, I am a big college football fan, as you know by now, and for a long time been following the sport, covered Mizzou for a long time, Indiana University alum. I finally have myself a football team. It's been a lot of fun, but I watch very closely all of the local teams as well. And we have one Division I football program here in the St. Louis area. And I noticed something last week when they went to Appalachian State in what was supposed to be on paper a mismatch, and they gave them all they could handle, ended up losing that one 20-13. That certainly got my attention. Well, lo and behold, in week 3, Lindenwood takes care of business on the road, beating Charleston Southern by a final of 35-28. And joining us is the head coach of the Lions. He is back with us. Lindenwood coach Jed Stugart is with us on KMOX. Coach, how are you?
Tom, how are you? I'm doing great this morning, man. Good to be on with you.
Good to be with you. Congrats on the win. How did you accomplish that victory over Charleston Southern?
Well, we decided to at about the second quarter we started to play football and decided to come back and win the game. So it's did not start off pretty. It's probably one of the most interesting games that have been on it. We were down 21-0 before anybody even broke a sweat. I didn't know if we were flying out to Charleston to look at timeshares out there or something like that. But I didn't know if we were playing football in the first quarter. But it's but all of a sudden the guys woke up and some adjustments happened. We started kind of doing our what we do and play football and trust each other. And we scored 35 unanswered points after that and shut them out in the second half. So I was really proud of. I always say that adversity reveals character, and I think it said a lot about a team who, we're young in some areas and on this team, playing their first college football games. And, this is our third road game in a row. And it says a lot that I'm just really proud of our guys to go on the road, third week in a row, third flight in a row, and fall behind 21 points and come back and win a game like that. I can't be more proud of them.
You had defense really inspiring your offense in one situation where you were able to get a stop, and then they go on a 10-play, 80-yard drive. That was your first score of the day. Second score, you got an interception, turned that into points. Your third score, you were able to get a big stop, and then they go on, the Lions do, their offense, on an 8-play, 80-yard drive, took the lead after that. That was after you had tied the game. Then you took the lead 28-21, so you ripped off 28 consecutive. Then you went up 35-21 with just under 2 minutes to go. I mean, do you feel that on the sideline that your defense inspired the offense to get kick-started as well?
I think so. It's funny because it takes one play, and sometimes they're the littlest of plays. I was thinking of Jesse Smith. He's a defensive end that you're probably not going to hear a lot about. People talk about quarterbacks and receivers and DBs, and this kid, hawked down a screenplay just flying on pursuit that just kind of electrified our sideline because we're kind of waiting for somebody to make a play, and it's just the littlest of things that all of a sudden kind of put a little spark in us, and that's what it takes. And yeah, I think, but we talk about that all the time. And when your offense and defense and are rooting for each other, they've got each other's back. That's a sign of a really good cultural football team. And I think, first of all, we just never heard anybody getting down on each other. And I think the defense held us in there. And then once our offense started rolling, but then our defense, it held them, got them to an opportunity in the red zone. They missed a field goal. That was another thing that was huge. That it was after a big play. They hit us on a big run, and then they bow up a little bit and cause a long field goal. And just working together with each other. I mean, I think that's what and that's what you love to see as a coach. Nobody getting discouraged with one another, but they got each other's back.
I love your stadium, Hunter Stadium on the campus of Lindenwood University, kind of sunk down in that valley with the stands and then the hill on one end zone side, and really a good look at campus from down there. That place seems like it would get really loud when packed and hyped, and you're finally going to be there. You're going to host Stony Brook on Saturday night at 6, Coach.
Yes, finally. I mean, we're dying to play a home game, and we've got an opponent that we know nothing about. They know nothing of us. It'll be kind of a exciting thing. I don't even know if I don't know this for a fact, but I can rest assured probably a 99% chance we've never played each other in our history. So I already know that. So it's going to be interesting. We don't know much about each other. They had a great win yesterday against a good Fordham team, and so we've got to, we've been battle tested, with Appalachian State, with coming from behind yesterday, and that's going to be a good opportunity. And I agree with you. If people haven't had a chance to come out and see Harlan Hunter Stadium, it's beautiful, and the game day pregame and the tailgating and everything is an amazing atmosphere leading into the game. So hopefully we get a great crowd out there, because it is loud in that bowl, and that's what we need.
And then the next week you go to Oxford and you take on Miami of Ohio. My daughter just started there. She's a freshman. She's excited to see Lindenwood come into town because she knows some of the guys. Jared Rhodes went to Ladue High School. He's running back who scored yesterday for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Jared's, and you talk about a tough kid. Again, he's been, he had a high ankle sprain in fall camp. Those are hard to get over. And he's, those things are still tender, and him running like he's running. And I know the pain he's going through. That's an area we've been a little banged up in, and to see guys like that. But yeah, Jared's a good example of how the local talent in this area that we have on our football team that are making great contributions, and we love recruiting the Lou. We're loyal to the Lou. That's one of our slogans that we use, because Jared's just a great example of that. So even people coming out and watching hometown growing talent, it's kind of a fun deal.
Yeah, and I've mentioned, this is the last thing, but I've mentioned here a couple of times on this show before I brought you in, Jed Stugart, the head coach at Lindenwood, the only Division I football program in the St. Louis area. Do you all tout that as well as you make your way around?
No, absolutely. I mean, I think when I got here 9 years ago, I looked at our facilities, I looked at the footprint of where we're at, the talent that's in this region. It just made sense, I know I'm biased, but you look at our location and to compare to anybody in our conference and everything where we're at, it just doesn't get any better than Lindenwood University and St. Charles, and that's why we love incorporating St. Louis still as our home too. That's what's great. We don't let that river divide us.
Yeah, that's well said. Jed Stugart, the head coach at Lindenwood, I really appreciate you coming on KMOX. Congratulations on the win. Good luck as you have your first home game coming up this Saturday night at 6 against Stony Brook, and it's great to have you on KMOX.
We're grateful for your support and covering us, man. It means a lot. So have a blessed week.
Absolutely. That's the head coach of the Lindenwood Lions. You too, Jed Stugart, the head coach at Lindenwood. Back in a moment with the general manager of the St. Louis Blues, Doug Armstrong, on KMOX.
The KMOX City SC Soccer Showcase, presented by Michelob Ultra, is back. Next stop, Hot Shot Sports Bar and Grill in Arnold, Thursday, September 18th. A limited number of fans can get an autographed picture from City SC player Timo Bunkardel. Win great prizes, enjoy great food and a cold drink. Hot Shots in Arnold is the place to be Thursday, September 18th from 6 till 8 p.m. for the City SC Soccer Showcase, presented by Michelob Ultra. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
Fall is here. Baseball, beautiful weather, and the changing colors of trees and shrubs. When you think of your trees, call family-owned Gamma Tree Experts. Fall is a great time to prune and fertilize your valuable trees. Our staff of certified arborists will survey your trees to determine their needs. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. Call Gamma Tree Experts at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley for i3 Broadband, the internet provider in the Pauley household. I think you'd love it if you had them as well. We've got the 2 gig package at our home, 2 gig upload, 2 gig download mirrored, and we're spending less money than we did with the cable company for lesser service. Plus, right now, they've got savings over $400 beyond their already low standard pricing. You got questions? They've got answers. Call 877-976-0711, and they've got people there who can answer all your questions, or head to their website, i3broadband.com.
We know you're uncertain about psychics. Is this fortune teller you found on a forum legit?
Your one true love is...
me! That's why California Psychics reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Get insights on the go. Download the California Psychics app today.
KMOX Weekend at your service, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
Grab some friends and make your own fall planter.
at our DIY workshop at Chesterfield Valley Nursery's Garden Center. Learn to create your own fall fabulous planters for your porch or patio in our fall planter class. Our garden center provides different planter sizes to choose from, as well as organic Coast of Maine potting mix and a selection of beautiful fall flowers. Bring fall home with a porch or patio planter when you attend a DIY planter class in the garden center at Chesterfield Valley Nursery.
Here's a few questions for you from California Psychics. Do your workdays seem to go on forever? Is your career progression as fast as downtown traffic? Or does your boss still not know your name?
Hey, you, Tina, Lisa, Sheila, whatever. Get that report to me by lunch, okay? It's Terry, ma'am. Just get it done, Terry.
It's time to read the career warning signs and talk to California Psychics. We're always on hand to give you the career guidance you need. You see, we only connect you with the very best. In fact, 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us don't make the grade. That's why we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. So you could soon be telling your boss where to stick that report.
Where are you going, Terry? Terry!
Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics. Call 1-800-PREDICT today and get 20 minutes for just $20.
Now, back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Great to be back with you. It is also hockey season. The Blues are underway. Their prospects already started working out, the rookies, and the prospect showcase, already 2 games in the books. The Blues split them. They won Friday night up in St. Paul against the Wild 6-4 and lost last night in overtime to the Blackhawks by a final of 3-2. Joining us, and we always love having him, is the Blues president of hockey operations, general manager Doug Armstrong is back on Sports on a Sunday morning. Morning, Doug.
Hi, how you doing today?
Doing great. Always great to visit with you and great to talk some hockey. Just an overview, if you would, of these last couple of games in the prospect showcase from your perspective.
Yeah, it was obviously great to see the guys on the ice against different colored jerseys, and I thought the young players showed well. They're excited to be putting that Blues uniform on, and they got 3 to 4 points, but more importantly, they got some experience playing with each other that it's going to help them as they prepare for the main camp next week.
It was Justin Carbonneau with that game winner on Friday night on a great pass from Otto Stenberg. I'm sure you love to see that combination. And Carbonneau, he's a gritty player with some skill, it looks like.
Yeah, he came as advertised from our scouting department. He's got a good offensive knack, but he likes to play inside the dots. He goes to the areas where the competition is its fiercest, and I was impressed with his first view as a pro, and we got him signed recently, so he's ready to continue his path to working towards the NHL. But having Dvorsky and Stenberg and Lindstein and Carbonneau and multiple first-round picks and top prospects there was great for our organization and give us a little bit of a peek into the future.
What is your read on Stenberg, who had 3 points over the weekend, Doug?
Yeah, he's a good player, very, very detail-oriented, does a lot of the things in the game that coaches are going to like. He's very, as I said, very detailed in what he does, and I'm looking forward to him getting over here again as a 20-year-old and immersing himself in pro hockey at this level for a full year. He came over halfway through last year, which is always a difficult transition, but we expect him to have a good training camp. And it's a difficult roster right now with the depth that we have to crack the lineup, but they're here to steal somebody's job, and it's going to start on Thursday.
Another name that jumps out is your goaltender, Will Cranley, who actually won the game against the Wild. Then he comes out and stops all of the shots he faced against the Blackhawks. Played 30 minutes, I do believe, and stopped all the shots he faced.
Yeah, he looked very good those first 2 games. And actually, Alex and I were talking this morning about goaltenders. It's the first 3 years. You just have to understand that it's probably the biggest growth of any player. It's that 20 to 23, 24, understanding the pro game. And he was very good there. I think with Ellis we have and Zarenko, we're going to have very good competition. Obviously, we love our 2 NHL goaltenders here. So that's a David Alexander, and the goaltending department under his tutelage has done a nice job preparing these players. And he played well, and now he can take that to the next level in the main camp.
Yeah, I think people wouldn't believe this if they heard it, but Jordan Bennington, way back when, and, we all know the famous line where Jim Thomas asked him, something about being nervous. He says, "Do I look nervous?" That whole exchange is always fun. But if you go back, I believe it was on your website, on St. Louis Blues website, there was a story about Benner when he first played in the AHL. He was very nervous. That seems hard to believe, but going back in the development of Benner, and it was that jump. And once he took that jump, boy, we all know the story from there. I mean, it's legendary.
Yeah, obviously Benner's his story is well documented, but these goalies do come at a different time, and it's one. A lot of the NHL goalies today play in the East Coast Hockey League, which is you don't get a lot of skaters coming from that league, but a lot of goaltenders will get their feet wet there, and that's where Cranley has been, and Ellis has been down there. So we're just going to be patient with the progress, but it's great to see that the hard work these young players are putting in is paying off.
And now you have your veterans coming in. So as I understand it, report date is the 17th, and the 18th it is on. Training camp begins for everybody, right, Doug?
Yeah, we'll have our two groups on the ice on Thursday and Friday. Then we'll jump right into a couple quick exhibition games in Dallas and in Columbus. And I know the coaches are excited. This is the hardest time for, quite honestly, coaches and management. You're here, you're in town, you're ready to go to work, and you just have to sort of pull the reins back, and it's still summer mode for the players. But as they're gearing up now, I think everyone's excited to get through the medicals and the first day of media responsibilities and content day and all those things, and get ready to get on the ice and assert themselves on where they want to be in our organization.
Did you feel like you addressed what you needed to this offseason to be ready to be a contender this year?
Yeah, I think, again, we're progressing. I like the internal growth. I was talking to a coffee with a player this morning, and we just talked about Broberg and Holloway coming in last year sort of expedited our growth. And, without those players, we were probably looking at inputting some of our young players and having them grow on the job. But when those players came in, and then the addition of Fowler, it expedited everything. And then we obviously went out this summer and brought in the experienced players in the Suter and Bukestad. So competition is going to be strong in training camp. And I think we're starting to grow into something that we believe is sustainable. And, we have veteran players like Shen and Parenko and Falk and Fowler that can lead us. And then we have those young players, that 24 and under group, led by Jake Neighbors and Holloway and Broberg, et cetera, that are going to push. So I think we have a good balance, and our job now is to take it from paper to put it on the ice and stay competitive with the better teams in this league.
It really was a rough injury for Holloway, wasn't it? I mean, how is he right now?
He looks like he's doing well, and he tells everyone he's 100% ready to go, and I'm sure he is. He's a dedicated athlete. He's one of our top condition players, and probably one of our most consistent in the gym and consistent mindset. And so he'll be ready to go. And I know he's looking to build off of what he started here in the second chapter of his career in St. Louis, and I'm looking forward to seeing that.
We all know who your leaders are. It's been apparent. I mean, we know the guys who wear the C, and the guy who wears the C and Braden Shen. And I'm curious, do you see leadership qualities in some of your younger players already? Is there anybody that's emerging in that area?
Yeah, to me, it's Jake Neighbors. Jake is someone that once you get to know him, his personality is you gravitate towards his personality. He had the ability to function in all aspects of the married people, the younger people, the older people, very comfortable talking to the management, the coaches. He has natural leadership qualities. And then there's other players, but that would be one name to me that steps up as a younger player that's finding his own, that we're hoping can help the younger players as they get in here become pros, know what it means to be a Blue. But that starts with being a good player on the ice. And so he's a player that I have a lot of expectations for, both on and off the ice.
And we did have Steiner on last week, and I know we're a ways away from this handoff, but wanted to get your impressions of him as he continues to grow as a member of your front office?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed this transformation of Alex the player to Alex the manager or management. He's got a wealth of knowledge on the ice, and now we're trying to round out the off ice things. And he's got a great mind for the game, a great mind for the business of the game too. And I've enjoyed working with him. Looking forward to working with him over the next few years as he becomes a manager and puts his own mark on this franchise. And I think I give Mr. Stillman a ton of credit for doing something that's not quite honestly normal in pro sports. But I think we're going to be the benefactor of having such a smart young man, young mind with his experience on the ice in our organization and running it as a general manager soon.
The Blues' first 2 preseason games are on the road at Dallas and Columbus, the 20th and 21st. First preseason home game, September 27th against the Blackhawks. Doug Armstrong, the team's general manager, has been with us on KMOX. It's always great to talk to you.
Always enjoy coming on. You take care. Have a great weekend.
Thanks a lot. We'll see you soon, and we'll be back after the news on KMOX.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. When you go to the Audiology Center, you'll see a doctor of audiology. And with us right now, Dr. Colleen Bosler. Dr. Bosler, what are some of the signs of hearing loss?
Well, it's a number of things. Sometimes loved ones notice a person asking others to repeat themselves, or the television is too loud. What people tend to notice first with hearing loss is the loss of clarity. They can hear people talking, but they cannot always understand what's being said. That's because the hearing loss can cause you to miss certain consonant sounds, and those consonant sounds give us the detail to the word. A hearing aid can help bring back those details and give you a sense of clarity that you're missing.
Dr. Colleen Bosler at the Audiology Center with 3 locations in the greater St. Louis area. Call for an appointment, 636-441-7470. Online, theaudiologycenterstl.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-810-3588. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-810-3588. 800-810-3588. 800-810-3588.
Winner of the National Edward R. Murrow Award for Breaking News. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Charges are expected to be filed this week against the 22-year-old man accused of fatally shooting conservative activist Charlie Kirk. CBS's Scott McFarland with more on the investigation.
As the weekend began, they executed a search warrant on the family home in Washington County, Utah. It's about 3 or 4 hours from the site of the shooting. The governor, though, says multiple people are talking here, including the roommate of the suspect, who he describes as incredibly cooperative. The roommate, he says, had no idea this was happening. And he also says the roommate may have been in a romantic relationship with Tyler Robinson, may have been gender transitioning, but the governor says there's no indication or no idea yet if that's at all relevant to this case.
Kirk was gunned down at an event on a Utah college campus. Governor Spencer Cox tells ABC.
We have to figure out how it came to be that a kid with a 4.0, with a 34 on the ACT, with a full ride scholarship at my alma mater, who didn't even last a semester, drops out and ends up doing something like this. We need to understand that, and we need to figure out how to stop it.
The killing has heightened security concerns for members of Congress. House Speaker Mike Johnson.
I've been talking with a lot of them over the last few days about that and trying to calm the nerves, to assure them that we will make certain that everyone has the level of security that's necessary, that the resources will be there for their residential security and their personal security.
Johnson appeared on CBS's Face the Nation, where he also spoke about the prospect of a government shutdown.
We'll need a short-term funding measure, a clean CR that will allow more time to figure all this out. And we certainly hope that Democrats will go along on that, because if not, they really have no excuse. If they shut the government down, it would be their unilateral decision to do so.
The Federal Reserve meets this week to consider whether to lower interest rates. CBS's Jill Schlesinger.
Right now, if you look at the Fed's job, it's a real tough one because the job market is weakening at the same time that inflation is re-accelerating.
A labor dispute is over at a venue that is set to host a popular fundraiser. Ashley Graham's reports.
Farm Aid's 40th anniversary festival is on after earlier this week, some artists and production team members said they wouldn't cross the picket line.
In solidarity, they waited until the picket line was done, and now they're out to work. So we're looking forward to having a great show on Saturday.
That's Farm Aid's Charlotte Ammons. She says the deal provides a 10% increase over 3 years. Farm Aid is a nonprofit that raises funding and awareness for family farms. It was founded by artists, including Willie Nelson, decades ago. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At 11:03, we have 90 degrees already downtown at the Gateway Arch. Good morning, I'm Scott Jagow. Our top story this hour, the assassination of Charlie Kirk has renewed the national conversation about political divisiveness and violence. KMOX Republican analyst John Hancock says the country is experiencing a wave of political violence not seen since the 60s. And he believes one reason for that is the growing polarization in Congress and in state politics. For example, 40 years ago in Congress,
there was an ideological overlap of about 20%. There was 20% of Democrats and Republicans that were more or less on the same page. Today, if you look at an ideological makeup of Congress, there's precisely zero members who are on the same page.
he says today's polarized electorate is producing extreme candidates on both sides. In 1985, 27 states had one Republican and one Democrat in the U.S. Senate. Today, there are only 3 states with a senator from each party. Missouri Governor Kehoe posted a video on social media addressing this issue.
For most people, that a political dialogue and a religious belief dialogue has room in our country, and it's the way our country was founded. And so I'm asking Missourians and Americans to remember who came before us and why we're here today.
Kehoe says just because you disagree with someone doesn't make them the enemy. Meanwhile, Missouri's governor is poised to sign the new congressional map, which will give Republicans 8 seats and Democrats 1.
So for those of you who disagree, I respect that. Decisions are hard. Leadership is hard. It's not easy doing the job that your House and Senate members do, but we try to do the best we can to reflect Missourians' values. And we believe those same values were brought forward in the initiative petition reform. It's too easy to change our state's constitution. You shouldn't be able to let people in from outside of our state with lots of money and influence come in and change our constitution overnight.
This afternoon will be very hot and humid with more sun than clouds. A thunderstorm in parts of the area during the afternoon and early evening hours. The high 97. The record is 100 set in 1939. Partly cloudy, warm and humid overnight, though 71. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds remaining hot and humid, high 93. Tuesday, mostly sunny and hot with a high up to 94. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Thank you, Joe. Right now, it's 89 in St. Peter's, 90 in Florissant, 90, lots of sun downtown at the Arch. I'm Scott Jagow, KMOX News.
From KMOX Sports, this is the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning. Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. Now, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Coming up this hour, the back half of the hour, a lot of Cardinals baseball. John Mozeliak with us at 11:30, Bernie Miklasz at 11:45. We covered a lot of college football in that first hour. It was good to speak with Brian Barnhart and Jed Stugart, who's the head coach at Lindenwood. Barnhart, the voice of the Illini. Doug Armstrong, the Blues general manager, was with us at 10:45. We got into a little bit of baseball and some Mizzou talk in the first segment. Now it's time to shift to the NFL. Let's hear it. You got some tunes for me, Drew? Oh, come on, baby. Pump it up.
And a key block by the left guard, Tom Ackerman.
Wow.
And right here, let's go downstairs to Bonnie.
Marv, if you remember that big run Robert Holcomb had on the first drive, one of the guys responsible on help busting him loose was Tom Ackerman.
Tom Ackerman up front, and this is a unit that has played very well. A good night for Eddie George. 21 carries, 74 yards. The left guard, Tom Ackerman, with the block that set him free. It's a first down.
You found it. Where'd you find it?
It's a long story, but we got it. We got it.
I didn't know that you found that. We thought that had been evaporated from our former computer system, but it is back. Lisa Herman, producer at KMOX in the early 2000s, produced that for me, and it still stands the test of time. That is, of course, not me. That is the great former offensive lineman, Tom Ackerman. Let's do some NFL picks. Drew, last week, week one, I went 6-8 against the spread. It's not terrible, but I'm not proud of it whatsoever. If you took all of my picks, you had a losing record. Maybe you broke even. You know, some of those I just got caught on a half point, like Denver. I had them. I was confident in them. They won by 8. It was 8.5. You know, that kind of stuff. But hey, I'm not picking winners. I'm picking against the spread for you. I'm doing this for you. Here we go, week 2. It is a noon kickoff for Jacksonville at Cincinnati. The spread is 3.5. Cincinnati is favored. You know, it seems like not a lot of points for the Bengals at home. But then again, I thought they would handle business against the Browns, and they did, but they only won by a point, so they didn't cover. Here, I think they do cover. I think they will cover this 3.5 at home against the Jaguars today. Giants at Dallas. It's Dallas -5. I like the Cowboys there. Give the Giants 5 points. Give me Cowboys -5. Chicago at Detroit. Now, I was high on the Bears in week 1. They blew it. They lost to the Vikings. The Lions also were a little disappointing to me. The Lions got drilled by the Packers by 14 points. They're playing at home here. The spread is 6.5. I think that's enough. I think they win by a touchdown. I'm going to go Detroit -6.5. Rams at Tennessee. So the Titans are +5.5 here at home against the Chargers. Chargers with a very impressive win over the Chiefs in Brazil. Can they keep that going? Do you give the Titans 5.5 points at home? I'm going to say yes. I'm just going to take a chance on this one and go with Jim Harbaugh and give 5.5. Chargers -5.5 on the road of the Titans. I'm sorry, I messed that up. It's the Rams at the Titans. Why did I say Chargers? The Rams at the Titans giving 5.5. Hold on a second. I'm going to take that back. I'm going to go Titans +5.5. My bad. Titans +5.5 at home against the Rams. I'm glad I caught that. I saw LA and assumed it was Chargers. Patriots at Miami. Miami was terrible last week at Indianapolis. Just got it handed to them. And the Patriots, who I thought, I wasn't really sure what to make of them, they lost as well. They lost to the Raiders. So these teams hooking up today. New England at Miami, and the spread is 2. Miami -2. I'm going to go Patriots here. Miami's going to have to prove me wrong. They looked brutal. Speaking of that, New Orleans, I don't think they're a very good team. And they're only getting 3 at home against the Niners today. I think the Niners cover that -3, even though Brock Purdy is out. And that's why Brock Purdy's injured, their quarterback, not to mention their excellent tight end, George Kittle, is also out for this. I still think the Niners cover 3. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and New Orleans will prove me wrong. Buffalo at the Jets. Ooh, the Bills with a great win over the Ravens last week by a point. Here they are visiting the Jets, -5. I think they handle that. I'm going to go Bills -5 at the Jets. The former Jet, Aaron Rodgers, looked good for the Steelers in his first game. Now he is a 3.5-point favorite at home against the Seahawks. I hate that half point. Dang it, I hate that half point. I'm going to say the Steelers defense gets the job done. I'll go Pittsburgh -3.5. Cleveland is a 13-point dog at Baltimore. 13 points. The Ravens. I'm going to go Ravens. I think 13 sounds big, but the Ravens win it by a couple of touchdowns, and they pick up the victory at home by more than 13. I'm going to go Ravens -13. Denver at Indianapolis. The Colts with that impressive win over the Dolphins, and the Broncos won by 8 at home in their first game last week. Man, that's a tough one here because, Denver doing their thing, and that was great and all, but they beat Tennessee by 8. Wasn't as impressive as I thought it was going to be, and Indianapolis looked really good, and they're only a 1-point favorite. Denver's a 1-point favorite at Indy. I'm going to go Indy +1 here. Colts plus a point at home against the Broncos. Carolina at Arizona. Zona is a 7-point favorite. The Cardinals are against the Panthers. Carolina +7 at Arizona. Just a gut call there. All right, here's the marquee game. Philadelphia at Kansas City. With everything going into this, Arrowhead Stadium at full throttle, Kansas City having lost its first game, doesn't want to lose another one. They are a 1-point dog against the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. I can't imagine the Eagles are going to go in there and win that game. I'll go Chiefs +1. That would be very impressive to me if the Eagles win that. Atlanta at Minnesota. The Falcons are 3-point dogs at Minnesota. You know what? I'm going to surprise you here. I'm going Falcons +3 here. I think the Falcons are decent. And the Vikings got a great win, but this is a Sunday night game with the Falcons. Mike Penix showing off a little bit. I like it. Tampa Bay at Houston is one of the Monday night games, and the Bucs are 3-point dogs at Houston. I'll go Houston here -3, and then the Chargers at the Raiders. The Chargers 3.5-point favorites at Vegas. Give me Vegas at home +3.5. How you like that? I like them apples. NFL picks right here on KMOX. We'll see how I do this time around. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll let you know about a very special fundraiser for a very special group, the BackStoppers. Back in a moment on KMOX.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more, 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/JOY.
At Ophthalmology Associates, their goal is to ensure that every one of their patients enjoys the best possible eyesight at every stage of their life. This is Rick Wallace, and I've been through several life stages with Ophthalmology Associates. I've trusted them with my eye care for almost 30 years. Doctors Birdie, Malhotra, Brusati, and Royer head up a network of leading specialists in every field of eye health. They're involved in leading-edge research and equipped with the latest technology to handle the most complex situations. And there is always personalized eye care tailored to your individual needs and preferences at Ophthalmology and Associates. Oh yeah, pediatric eye care too, and a full-service optical shop. Ophthalmology Associates. Visit youridoc.com or call 314-966-5000.
Back at KMOX Sports on a Sunday morning. Stiefel Sports Studio. Great to be along with you. We are here in studio, and joining us on the line, we have a big event to tell you about. It is coming this weekend. It is at the VFW, post 5331 1 Lynn Lane in Cedar Hill. The BackStoppers 10th anniversary barbecue. The BackStoppers, an organization that supports the families of fallen first responders. I've been involved with Guns and Hoses for a number of years. The proceeds from that great event the night before Thanksgiving go back to the BackStoppers. And joining us is the president of the BackStoppers Jefferson County, and that is Mike Sims. Mike, it is great to be with you on KMOX. How are you?
Hey, Tom. Thank you so much for having us today. Doing well.
It's my pleasure. And your event, which is happening September 20th, this coming Saturday at 11 a.m. in Cedar Hill, is sponsored by Girding Enterprises, Inc. And joining us on the line is also Chuck Girding. Chuck, thank you very much for the time today.
Thank you for having us on, Tom. We appreciate it.
It is my pleasure. And thank you for all that you do. Mike, I'll start with you. Tell us about your history with the BackStoppers and what the BackStoppers does for this community.
Sure. So I've been with the BackStoppers probably close to a dozen years, and the BackStoppers is a non-for-profit that assists fallen first responders or severely injured first responders in the line of duty. And basically, if a first responder would be either killed in the line of duty or severely injured, the BackStopper steps in and helps the families out. And we right now, to give you an idea, Tom, we have 95 families on this program with 75 independent children. And these are active families that we're taking care of. And, you know, without fundraisers and without the public and our friends and family, we would never be able to do that for these folks. And, you know, having Chuck on the call today, it's very important because this barbecue that Chuck's put on, this is the 10th annual that he's put on out in Jefferson County. And he has really, really made a lot of awareness out in that county about what BackStoppers does. And we're seeing more and more people are really understanding it, and they really appreciate it. And they know the money's going to the right people. And I'll let Chuck tell a little bit about that.
Chuck, please do. Tell us about that.
After 9/11, we went, you know, the horrific event that we witnessed. I always wanted to do something, and I was too old to join the military. So we used to do a barbecue for our company picnic. It would feed up to 300 people. So we decided to get into this barbecue and started looking for organizations that we could help and seek out and, you know, really do something good for, you know, our first responders. And when we found BackStoppers, it was huge. It was eye-opening and amazing for what they do to our local heroes. So in 2016, we started on a little parking lot at the corner in Cedar Hill, and that first day we raised $12,000. We're in our 10th year now. After 9 years, we have raised around $539,000, which is huge. Last year alone was $119,000. We are second only to Guns and Hoses for a one-day event for raising money for BackStoppers. So that makes us very proud of our community and what we call our scream team, the crew that comes out and works that day for 12, 14, 16 hours to make it, you know, all this come together. And it's really turned into a Jefferson County tradition. So we're very proud of that and very proud of our community for coming out and sponsoring and backing us to give back to them.
How about that, Mike? The second largest single day event to guns and hoses in terms of money raised for BackStoppers. What incredible growth that is. That is awesome.
Yeah, yes, it is. And, you know, it all starts at the top. And like Chuck said, you know, Chuck is the organizer of this event. We've assisted him from the BackStoppers side, anything he needs, anything we can do to help. But between him and his scream team, I mean, he's got over 100 volunteers, Tom, that come down there. And I mean, they work their butt off, and they don't give up until the last meal served. And, you know, we kind of turn it into like a picnic, as to say. There's more than just the barbecue going on. I mean, he's got 5 bands down there that they donated all their time. We bring in some jump houses for the kids. We got the Bomberito race cars down there. But just seeing it all come together is unbelievable.
Chuck, as you said, it started with the horrific events of 9/11. After years of looking back every year at that, you did something about it. The Screaming Eagle Grill, born in 2016. And I do remember very vividly 2001, 24 years ago. And that was, I think, the peak of our appreciation for the men and women who are there for us, who bring us safety and are there for us whenever we need them. It's amazing to be there for them. And I think it's very important, Chuck, don't you think, to remind people of what they do every single day, putting their lives on the line for us.
Absolutely. You know, you read about it or in the paper, see it in the news. And unfortunately, it's way more than, you know, anybody wants. It's terrible what some of these have gone through, these people, men and women that, you know, realistically, they know you, they do not know you at all. And here they'll run into a building on fire or onto a car that's on fire, or, you know, come to a call when there's somebody breaking in your house and they don't even know who you are. And they do this daily, where our job is just to come and do whatever we do, and here they're risking their lives. So it's huge to give back to these, local heroes, that it's something that we can do. And I'm passionate about that. They, you know, they'll thank me and I'll say, you know, you earn that daily. I'm only doing this one day. You earn that daily. So that's what this is about, is, you know, just making sure that they're not forgotten and that the community really does come out and show their affection and their love for them.
Chuck Girding Enterprises, a family-owned business in the aerospace industry. They've had parts on Mercury, Gemini, Apollo, the space shuttle programs, along with many fighters, bombers, cargo, and missiles, known throughout the country for their craftsmanship, quality, welding, and machining, and known around Jefferson County for giving back. Chuck, I was looking at the menu. That's some menu there. Ribs, chicken, pork steaks, hot dogs, bratwurst, pork steak burgers for $6.
That's one thing that we're known for now. We have Kendrick's mixes our own blend of pork steak burger, and it's really popular. But all our food, we take our barbecue as serious as we do the quality we put into our parts. We mix our own sauce. We mix our own seasoning. I'm out here today at the shop mixing 30 gallons of sauce for the event today. But we smoke all our meats, so it takes longer, but it's got that that flavor that's distinct. We use Missouri wild cherry and hickory, the cherry for smoking and the hickory for heat. And we're very proud of the product that comes out. So, I mean, we want to come to the level to give give the customers that come out to give back to our first responders.
You do have some. Yeah, Mike, you got some great family activity as well. I see Fredbird and Louie are both going to be out there. You know, the kids will love that. But you also have a raffle, which is very impressive. Tell me a little bit about the raffle.
Yeah, so we have a raffle. We're going to give away a side-by-side, valued over $25,000. And the raffle is a $10 single entry ticket, or if you buy $100 worth, we give you an extra ticket, so it's 11 for 100. It will be given away that night, Tom, of the barbecue. So we're encouraging anyone to come out and buy a dinner from us, support it that way. Come out and hang out, bring the kids. There's a lot of activities, but more importantly, listen to some music, and then at the end we have a huge fireworks show. It's a professional fireworks show that's put on. And, we'll give away that side-by-side right before that.
You're also going to have some Bommarito vehicles on display, Mike?
We are. We're going to have, the Bommarito 31 vehicle sponsored by Underlaw. That one will be there. And then also we'll have the Bommarito truck there as well.
It's good to hear our man Jeb Burton was okay after the NASCAR Xfinity race on Saturday. That was a tough one. This is really a great thing going on. We're excited about that. Again, people want to know where this is all going down. It is the BackStoppers 10th anniversary barbecue at the VFW Post 5331. That is 1 Lynn Lane in Cedar Hill. Live music, drinks, raffles, all proceeds donated to BackStoppers, Inc., the BackStoppers, supporting families of fallen first responders. Mike Sims, Chuck Girding, an absolute pleasure to have you both on KMOX.
Well, thank you, Tom. We really appreciate you getting the word out for us. That's huge.
You bet. Mike, always good talking to you.
Thank you so much, Tom. Thank you, man. Good
you
talking.
got it. Thank you. Mike Sims is the president of BackStoppers Jefferson County. Before we go to John Mozeliak, just wanted to say something about something that my wife and I did yesterday, which helped another part of the St. Louis area, and that was North City. As you may know, in May, a devastating tornado ripped through St. Louis. It started right around the Ladue-Clayton area, picked up steam, ripped up parts of Forest Park and along Lindell, and then made its way into North City, where the city took over $1 billion worth of damage, just devastation throughout neighborhoods that were already dealing with a lot and now a lot more. And through some work friends of ours, my wife and I went to North City and to a woman's home and helped her around her home. And it is really jarring to see that here we are 4 months later and she still has just destruction. I mean, living in a home that is dealing with holes in the ceiling and problems throughout and lack of resources, and she is one of many. So my suggestion is, if you can find a way to A, donate, B, adopt a family or home, give back to the Urban League. They certainly, and many other organizations, are giving food and resources to these people in North City who are really struggling right now. And I want them to know that they are not forgotten, and we will continue to push forward, because we've just gotten out of although it's hot today, we're about to get out of the heat of the summer, but it has been very, very hard on a lot of people in St. Louis, in particular in North City. And so please remember the tornado victims, that even though that may have fallen out of the news cycle, that doesn't mean that they aren't dealing with a lot. So that to me was very eye-opening, because I can sit here and talk about it on the air. I can make a donation online. I can see what's going on out there. But until you actually set foot on property and into homes and see it for yourself, it's hard to explain. I mean, it really is. So do what you can, if you can. Let's take a break. We'll come back, talk some baseball with John Mozeliak and Bernie Miklasz, separately, not together, in a moment. Sports on a Sunday morning from the Stiefel Sports Studio.
I'm Dave Glover, and I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Dr. Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brisati, and Andy Royer. You can too. Just go to youridoc.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have, the very best. Fences, decks, sunrooms, patios, pergolas, and more. Chesterfield Fence and Deck. When you're thinking about enhancing your outdoor space, maybe putting in a new patio, redoing your patio, perhaps taking a look at adding a sunroom. Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Maybe just a new fence for the dogs out there, you know? Chesterfield Fence and Deck, chesterfieldfence.com. They're the leading fence and deck company in St. Louis. They take pride in offering exceptional products and services, and Chesterfield Fence and Deck has been doing this since 1968. Quality products, expert installations. It's a safe choice. Safety is at the forefront of their process. They are going to do the job right every single time. Great employees, happy customers, and well over 50 years in business now. Chesterfield Fence and Deck. They're online at chesterfieldfence.com. Mention me, Tom Ackerman. You'll receive 48 months interest-free financing on your next outdoor project from Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more, 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
It's back, and you're invited to join us in Forest Park, September 19th and 20th, for the 53rd Annual Great Forest Park Balloon Race Weekend, presented by PNC Bank. Attendance is free, and the number of memories and photos you can capture is endless. Special thanks to New Ground International and Blue Moon Brewing Company. The 53rd Annual Great Forest Park Balloon Race Weekend. For more details, visit the events page at KMOX.com.
Now, back to the Great Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
As he does every Sunday at 11:30, and we certainly appreciate it, Cardinals president of baseball operations, John Mozeliak, checks in on sports on a Sunday morning. Mo, thanks very much for being with us.
Good morning, Tommy. How are you?
Morning. Doing great. Last night's game, boy, that was tough. I mean, the Cardinals are up 6-1. They lose at 9, 8, and 10 innings. I would say that's been kind of the season, but that's actually been one of your strong points, a sturdy bullpen. Even after making the trades that you made, a sturdy bullpen just ultimately could not get it done against Milwaukee, among other factors, of course, in that ballgame.
Yeah, there's no doubt the last few innings last night were difficult. When you look at a team like Milwaukee, they're going to take advantage of everything you give them. That's why they have the record they have. And to have 3 walks, 2 hit batsmen, you just can't do that. And, hopefully last night's experience for some of our young pitchers is a learning one and something that'll allow them to grow. But, clearly it was a frustrating loss and, you have opportunities. I think offensively swung the bat pretty well, but we also, had some chances to score more and we didn't. So, again, it's something where you hope these young guys take last night and grow from it. And if so, they'll be better for it. If not, then that'll be disappointing.
Yeah, and you hit it on the head. I mean, Milwaukee does take advantage of those things. I think that Milwaukee is the team that everybody wants to be. I mean, they find a way to get it done, and I know the Cardinals are trying to get back to that. Cardinals used to be that, it feels like. John, what is Milwaukee doing? What have they done that other teams have not been able to do? How do they do this?
Well, I do think when you look at how they're built, they're athletic. They're very, very good defensively. And from an offensive standpoint, they don't strike out a lot. They put the ball in play, and they take advantage of anything a team gives them. And so if you're not playing a clean game, it can be a very long night for you.
And when the Cardinals go on this next journey and continued journey here, which has been underway, of trying to get back to what you have to be, how do you follow? Do you follow any sort of model that they have put forward? How do you get your team? How does Chaim Bloom and his group moving forward as well get this back to where it used to be?
Well, you're going to have to draft well. You're going to have to develop well. You're going to have to make some smart trades along the way. There could be some growing pains between now and then as well. But, when you look at really how Milwaukee's done it, it's been pretty organic. And so, from a standpoint of what the Cardinals have in their minor league system, I think there's a lot to be excited about, especially with their future. But you're also going to have to augment that, whether it's from trades or free agency at some point.
Do you think that the game is in a good place, that a team like St. Louis, is Milwaukee a good example that you can do that? I mean, you don't have to throw around $300 million to accomplish what you need to accomplish?
Well, I certainly hope so, because, it's almost impossible to do that, especially in our market size. So it really does come down to your international program, your amateur draft department, and, ultimately your player development. And so, even if you look at the Cardinals right now, we have a lot of homegrown players, but now you just have to take it to that next level. And the difference between the Cardinals and Milwaukee right now is really like the attention to detail and their ability to make those adjustments. And I think the one thing that's, fun to watch when you watch Milwaukee is just how athletic they are and their ability to put the ball in play. I mean, last night they did strike out, I think, 9 times, but that was mostly because Sonny Gray was really on. But, having said that, the night before, they just put the ball in play.
Yeah, no, I totally see that. And that's something that the Cardinals, I can see, are trying to change in their own approach. And John, looking ahead as well, just kind of seeing what's the rest here of the season, 2 weeks to go. You won't have Mason Wynn. That, I'm sure, was a lot of pain he had to go through to try to stay on top of it. But ultimately he decided, and the team decided, I guess, as a group, that this is going to be it for Mason.
Yeah, it's just tough to have someone that's dealing with something where maybe they could go a day, sit 3. He didn't feel good about that. We didn't feel good about that. It wasn't like we were putting him in danger, but if you're just not feeling like you're able to play on a daily basis in this game, it's probably best to take your IL stint and, in his case, go have his scope and then start preparing for 2026.
Meanwhile, Donnie, who had he described it to me recently as, slow kind of inch by inch, I guess, progress, has come back and looks pretty good. How is he feeling?
Yeah, I think, obviously we want to protect him too. Missed a lot of time. So we're going to have to give him a day or two every now and then. But like you said, we have 2 weeks left. After today, we have 12 games. And, I think my message to our club is try to finish strong. There's a lot all of these young guys can learn from this experience, and then really set them up with their off-season curriculum and start preparing for 2026.
Springfield, they got a nice little entertainment this past week with Donovan, with Arenado, and not to mention Liam Doyle making an appearance. How's Arenado?
Right now, everything I hear is he feels good about where he's at. Hoping he'll join us tomorrow. And like in his case, obviously he wants to finish strong in those last 2 weeks and show that he's healthy. And, I think from my standpoint, that's all you can hope for.
Cardinals taking on the Brewers today at 1:10. Always happy to check in with us. We really appreciate it, John. John Mozeliak, Cardinals president of baseball operations, always says yes whenever he can. Thank you for the time.
All right, Tommy. Be well. Thanks.
Thank you. Good to visit in as Cardinals visit the Brewers today at 1:10. They are hopping on a plane after this, coming home for one more homestand. Reds for 3 and the Brewers for 3 before they wrap up the season in San Francisco and at Wrigley Field. Not much left for the Cardinals here moving forward. We're going to come back and analyze it all with Bernie Miklasz. The Cardinals president of baseball operations, John Mozeliak, there. Bernie Miklasz next on KMOX.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends Mark and Neil Gelman from the Gelman team of eXp Realty. If you want immediate cash for your home or to see what your home is actually worth in today's market, find out for free from the local experts. 314-336-1991. Go to thegelmanteam.com.
DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State. New Missouri customers can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today. And when we go live, place just a $5 bet to unlock $300 in bonus bets. Starting November 17th, you can create your DraftKings Sportsbook account in Missouri and get ready for launch day on December 1st. DraftKings Sportsbook brings you everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live December 1st. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Designed for working adults, focused on the future. Classes start September 17th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Don't let mosquitoes ruin your time outdoors. At Rattler Pest Solutions, our mosquito control services are designed to dramatically reduce mosquito activity so you can enjoy your yard in peace. Take back your yard. Visit Rattler.com today to learn more and schedule your free inspection.
KMOX Weekend at your service, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
Celebrate the month of September with Zero Res and get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $129. Take $75 off your air duct cleaning as well. Book online at ZeroResSTL.com and take advantage of these huge savings. Spell it forward, spell it backwards. Always spells the same. Zero Res.
Fall is here. Baseball, beautiful weather, and the changing colors of trees and shrubs. When you think of your trees, call family-owned Gamma Tree Experts. Fall is a great time to prune and fertilize your valuable trees. Our staff of certified arborists will survey your trees to determine their needs. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. Call Gamma Tree Experts at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
Frank, did you get the mail?
Coupon, Medicare, AARP. Oh, wait, this one says open immediately.
First one in the trash.
Every day we're bombarded with messages that we don't care about. Problem is, there might be an important message in there that affects you, like retirement. For example, on September 23rd and 25th, Steve All of the All Financial Group will be hosting a Taxes in Retirement seminar at Stone Summit. From the big beautiful bill to taxes on your Social Security, Steve will cover it. It's a complimentary event, but seating is limited, so reserve your seat today. Call 636-230-8824 or online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
What about this coupon for a new lawn service?
We live in a condo.
So?
On the 3rd floor. Mom always said I shouldn't have married you.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult a qualified professional or guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
Now, back to the Great Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
I'm ready to talk to Bernie. Bernie Miklasz, 1145 Sports on a Sunday morning. His visits are sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling. SaligaHeatingandCooling.com. What's up, Bern? I know that cooling has to be working today.
It's working great. It worked well yesterday, too. No, I'm just, after a wonderful day of college football, until late at night, I was ecstatic with a lot of those games. So much fun. And just going to watch some NFL today. The big one, of course, being the Chiefs hosting the Philadelphia Eagles tonight on Sunday Night Football. So it ought to be an interesting weekend in the NFL.
Yeah, that last night especially, I could not work my remote fast enough. I mean, I kind of feel like I needed multiple TVs. I still do the one TV thing where I'm flipping around. I don't flip from app to app. I actually have Uverse, so I just jump from channel to channel like old school. And I still couldn't do it fast enough. I mean, the games were so good last night. It was just awesome, especially that Notre Dame Texas A&M. That was wild.
Yeah, I mean, just two classic games yesterday. I mean, Tennessee and Georgia. There was just that was incredible. That was just a slugfest. Just great entertainment. And then the nightcap, of course. Just a sensational game between Notre Dame and Texas A&M. And I think people will be taking Texas A&M more seriously because Mike Elko is a heck of a coach. I know down the stretch last year, they lost a couple of games they probably should have won. But my gosh, the guy, that was his first year of taking over kind of a program under, Jimbo Fisher that kind of rotted out a bit. And, he needed time to do some recruiting and get some receivers into place and things like that. And I would say, listen, Notre Dame's in trouble because they're going to have to win out now after that heartbreaking loss. They're going to have to win out. And, I mean, it's as simple as that. I mean, because people say, well, they're going to get to the playoff or not. Well, that's not the right question. The right question is, can they win out? And they have about a 23% chance of doing that. So their season's not done, but they've left themselves no room now. And I do have to say this, and I like Notre Dame, by the way, I really do. But their defense is not the same as the defense we saw last season. And the change in coordinator has a lot to do with that. So Notre Dame's got some work to do. But, man, so many great stories. Vanderbilt is legitimately good. And they go into South Carolina. I know South Carolina's quarterback got hurt late in the first half, but Vanderbilt was already winning that game and taking control of that game. They're a good team. The SEC is a beast this year because even though, Mississippi State considered the bottom feeder of that whole league, they had a huge win over Arizona State last weekend. I mean, the SEC, it's like good luck finding a soft spot, because even Florida goes to LSU and yeah, I know they lost by 10 points, but that was anybody's game for a long while. I mean, they shut down the LSU offense for the most part. So a lot of great teams in the SEC and a lot of really great teams in the Big Ten. So I guess we shouldn't be surprised. Those are the two conferences.
That's right. Alabama showing their teeth a little bit, ripping Wisconsin down in Tuscaloosa. But you're right. I mean, the top 25, which will come out in about an hour or so, usually comes out at 1 o'clock on Sunday. This last one was Ohio State, Penn State, LSU, Oregon, Miami, the top 5. So that's 3 Big Ten teams in the top 4 right there. Illinois at 9. I want to get to Missouri in a minute, but Illinois at 9, they take care of business against Western Michigan. They may move up. You never know. I don't know. I mean, we'll see if they replace Notre Dame or if someone else jumps them.
Yeah, I think they might. It's hard to say, but they're going to be right there. And no matter where they're ranked, come later today, as you pointed out. I mean, you got the big one. I don't have to tell Tom Ackerman, IU alum. You got the big one coming up in Bloomington on Saturday, because I can't wait for that game. Illinois, Indiana should be a wonderful game. I can't wait for that one to get going.
That place is going to be bananas. Indiana's a 4.5 point favorite. I just saw. How about that? So
that's a lot of respect, though. That's a lot of respect.
Yeah,
that shows respect. I like that.
Yeah, that's about right. Missouri against South Carolina. Now, as you mentioned, Lenora Sellers gets hurt in the second quarter. A hit in the head, targeting was the call, and they lose a marvelous quarterback, maybe the number one pro prospect right now in Sellers. So that means that South Carolina comes in limping. But as you just said, be careful. Missouri looks good, but that'll be a desperate South Carolina team, even though they have if Sellers is out, lacking in that area.
Yeah, and I think, it's kind of one of the fascinating things about college football early on is that you see a team win a game and you say, man, that is just a great win for them. But then some other things happen. For example, you look at LSU, they won at Clemson. It's like, oh man, what an impressive win. What an impressive win. But Clemson's not nearly as good as what people thought. And I'll give you a stat, over the last 3 seasons, Clemson is now 15-10 against teams that are Power 4 or Notre Dame. They're living on their past accomplishments, and I didn't mean to get sidetracked, but my point is South Carolina had a game like that too. They went in at Virginia Tech and they won the game, and it was really impressive the way they won the game. And everyone's like, wow, South Carolina is really, really good. Well, Virginia Tech's nothing, not to be crass, but they're nothing. I mean, their coach is probably going to get fired. When South Carolina took over that second half and beat them, it looked like a great win at the time. And don't get me wrong, it was a good win, but it's not quite as incredible as it seemed at the time. So South Carolina, to your point, they've got a lot to prove because a lot of people are, writing them, downgrading them at least, maybe dismissing them mentally. So we'll see. That's going to be a great game as well for Mizzou. And of course, Sellers is the wild card factor. Obviously, we're not sure if he'll play or not.
Right. Love college football. I mean, I was just so into it parts of yesterday and especially last night. And then I'm looking at the Cardinals. They're up 6-1. I'm like, oh, isn't that great? National TV, putting it together today. And then the bottom falls out. I'm telling you what, Bern, it's just, if it isn't one thing, it's another. The Cardinals, with 2 weeks remaining in this season, and then one of the most fascinating off seasons we've ever experienced, will commence.
I'm looking forward to that as much as I love watching baseball, Cardinals baseball. No matter how the team's doing, I mean, the Cardinals are an institution and they always get my attention. But, I think we knew which way the season is going and was going to go, I should say. And as much as I appreciate the way they hung in there for quite a while, and I do appreciate the fact that Ali Marmol's attitude is, hey, like, we're not out of it until we're officially eliminated. We all know that's completely unrealistic, the way things are kind of falling apart. But I just say bring on the off season, because this will be unlike any off season I can remember, except before 1996, when Bill DeWitt and his partners bought the team around Christmas, early December of 1995. Walt Jocketty was in place. They were going to go get Tony La Russa, which they did. And then you're like, oh, well, La Russa is going to want certain players. He wants to build this thing up as soon as they can. And of course, that first team won the division title. La Russa brought in a lot of people, along with Dave Duncan, brought in a lot of pitchers. And that was the most intriguing offseason the Cardinals have had until this one that's about to start, because it's Chaim Bloom. And we can say about Tampa Bay, we can talk about Boston. At that point, it's irrelevant. I have an idea of how he's going to do this, and it's the Tampa Bay model. But at some point, they'll spend money to bring in players from the outside. But they got to just work from the ground floor up for now. And I think all of us really, if we're realistic, we agree with that. But we don't know exactly what he's going to do, like exactly how aggressive he'll be. Who's going to be traded? There will be players traded away. What do they have in mind about finding some incredible, like really, really good value players at a reasonable cost? What prospects will be ready to roll in 2026? Is Liam Doyle going to kind of make his way to St. Louis. I mean, there's a long list of things to keep an eye on. And unlike recent Cardinals offseason, especially last offseason where there's nothing going on, this one should be filled with action. And so there'll be more action in the offseason, probably in a way that we saw all during the regular season.
Just about a minute left, but do you believe that Marmol is safe, or does part of you still wonder?
I got no reason, pardon me, Tom, I got no reason to believe he's in trouble. I actually would be very surprised if they make a change. And one of the reasons is because I know, and I think you know too, because in fact, Ollie Marmol, he name drops Chaim Bloom all the time on the Gas House Gang every Tuesday. And I thought it was interesting in the conversation last week when we were asking him some stuff about the future in terms of like the club going forward and all this stuff. And he said, yeah, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to meet, we're going to review everything. And then Chaim's going to get together with the coaches too. And we're all going to talk about what, and I'm thinking that sounds like a guy knows he's coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you can just tell, you can tell that he likes the visits that they've had. He seems very encouraged by it. And it's a changing at the top with John Mozeliak being replaced by Chaim Bloom. Soon we'll have the press conference and we'll hear from Chaim, but I do think we will have Chaim on KMOX. I'm going to try to push him to be on the Gas House Gang as well, which we will have with Bernie Miklasz on Tuesday with the manager himself, Oliver Marmol. Just a couple weeks left in the season. Bernie, always great to have you on Sports on a Sunday morning.
You have a wonderful Sunday. Hope you all, the Ackerman family, are going to do something fun. Maybe just chill, but
we are.
Enjoy it.
We are. Appreciate it. We're going to chill for sure. Thank you so much. Good to talk to you, my man. There's Bernie Miklasz. See you, Ben. Thanks to Drew Young, our producer. Enjoy your Sunday, folks. I'll see you on Total Information AM tomorrow.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he